All right, it's Monday, November 6th, 6:47 a.m. Just getting started. I just drew these channels. I thought I had hit the record button, but it wasn't recording yet. So expecting a retest of the low here. There was a first entry, second entry failure. Now it's kind of stacked up, but expecting to reach this low. It's also now first entry, second entry short, but I'm going to wait for a better entry for Pats if I'm going to take a Pats trade. It's looking very rangy, so I drew the range in just in case. And I'm going to pause here, wait for a setup. And just recording here to see what happens if we get back up to this area. If we get a second entry short below the EMA or a lower high after that. We want to see this get confirmed. So there's a second entry short in the signal bar. Can't believe I'm looking for Pat's entries again. I really thought I was not going to come back to it, but I think it's actually helping me with my other strategy, with the Nlts strategy. So, yeah. It's funny how I thought I swore it off for 2 months, and here we are in the beginning of the week 8 of my YouTube channel. And I like it because it gives me more setups. It gives me an opportunity to enter Pat's setups as well as the Nlts setups. And I think there's just more opportunities. It's also given me the context of the chart better than what I'm seeing on my other chart. So, in playback, at least, it has really helped me. Haven't seen too many trades since I started doing this last week, but we'll see where this goes. All right, I'm going to pause. I don't see any setups right now. See if something else comes up. All right, we're getting over to this area. Looking to confirm this channel. So we got a first entry short here. Got an inside bar already, and looks like a third bar going to be stacking next to it. Market's moving pretty slow. All right, so let's see what happens here if this gets confirmed or not. It's within the boundaries. I don't like taking second entries above the EMA if that were to happen. Looks like it's going to be an inside bar, but respecting the channel maybe. So definitely no entry on Pats. Not seeing anything on my other chart for my other strategy. And this has to tick below this bar for this channel to be confirmed at this point. Remove that doesn't matter. So it looks like this channel is not going to get confirmed. I'm going to take this off. Maybe it's something wider like that using this wick. Have potential for an OJ down here. If it closes down here.
Order submitted.
I'm going to be trading 3 contracts on my 50K account, the Eval, and then 2 contracts on the 25K Eval, and 1 contract on the PAs. Looking for an OJ down here. Doesn't seem like it's going to happen. First entry, second entry short, possibly up here. So what I found is when there's like a second entry short on Pats, and then I have like a OJ setup that comes behind it, they seem to be good. If that were to happen. Looks like this second entry short is about to get busted. No, okay. Not really respecting this channel I drew though. Maybe it could be like that. I also know that in ranges I have to be careful with wider channels. Now even if it comes down, I'm not sure the OJ will fit the rules. It needs to come all the way down here too. Doesn't seem like it's quite right for it. Seems like it wants to take out anyone that took the second entry short. Maybe not. All right, I'm going to see if this OJ fits the rules or not. I have a feeling it doesn't. No OJ. This channel doesn't work. Not sure if there's some kind of up channel. Not really. I'm just watching this down here. See if this bar closes down here, if this is an OJ, but I think we're already past. No.
Order canceled.
So just no setup. So I'm going to pause here. All right. So it looks like it's respecting the overnight lows, which makes it look like range is in play even more. No setup for me anywhere. Let's see what happens next. All right, so these are kind of situations that make me crazy. Is this channel intact? Is this a first break? We have a first entry short, second entry short. If we get a failed second entry short at the EMA, is that a good trade? Or is the channel supposed to be more like that and you already have a break new high? If it's like this. So also middle of the range for the failure. I actually have a potential OJ to the downside, but I can't take that if I'm expecting a retest to the top here. So I have all kinds of confusion and confliction right now, right here in the middle of the range. No OJ. Would have had to close down here. But if it goes above this bar, it's a failed second entry short, first entry short, second entry short above the EMA. And it would be like this.
Order submitted.
7 tick bar. Right, so it doesn't look like that's happening.
Order canceled.
Now there's a possible OJ. No. No OJ. So just no trade right now. If this came back up now, I wouldn't take it as a failure. Potentially have down channel here. If this bar ticks under, which it looks like it's not going to do. So just kind of a confusing area. I'll just wait and see until it clears up. All right, so I took the down channel off because that didn't confirm. I'm testing out whether we could have a wider channel here. This was a first entry short, second entry short that's now failed above the EMA. I don't want to take that because it's a little bizarre looking, but what I might consider is a first entry long, second entry long, which is a higher low to the second entry short failure. That's pretty stacked up. So things are just super not clear. Market is super slow. Volume is low, and 7:30, and we're getting to be towards the middle of the range. Have somewhat of an expectation of retesting this high from this. I mean, I guess this is the failure right here. Maybe I should have taken that. I don't know. I just didn't like how it was the close below and then the close above. So like you can either take it on the engulfing, which is dangerous, or take it here. I'd kind of rather wait for a second entry long. EMA is super flat, and the whole day, pre-market and regular market, above, below, above, below, above, below, above, below the EMA. So very rangy. There's actually no. So I guess the one thing I would like is if it dips below here like it just did, and then we get a second entry long, although this would be concerning for me. This resistance right here. Because for all you know, this could be the start of some kind of thing.
Order submitted.
Ready, but I'm not sure I like this. This channel doesn't really look right. Second entry long, higher low to the failed second entry short. It's just going into this that I don't like. I don't like the close of the bar, so I'm not going to take
Order
that.
canceled.
I would have liked it better if it closed above the EMA. It's still a higher low to the failed second entry short. Still expecting the retest of the high here. Just don't like this resistance being in the way of an 8-tick scalp. Looks like it wants to work already, but it's already gone 6 ticks. You know, I guess for a 4-tick scalp, I could have considered it. But I'm always thinking in terms of going for 8 ticks. So yeah, seems like the second entry long is going to be good. Appears to have confirmed the channel. Maybe if you get a higher low, like a 3T kind of thing that comes back up. Just very sideways now at this point. The biggest problem for me is taking anything that's going into this. You got 3 bars stacked up. This is a higher low to a second entry long. Just very sideways. I mean, it makes sense to take it, but I don't know. I guess you also have the measured move that you're expecting. So another reason to take it. 7-tick bar. It's gone 3 ticks. Again, I still just have a problem with trading into this, some form of resistance here. Clearly every time it tries, it's getting rejected. Even now, again, it's getting rejected off of that. It's staying within the channel. So that probably works. Yeah. So, I mean, plenty of opportunities here. There's the failed second entry short, and then there's a second entry long. There's the higher low. I mean, really, any one of those trades is probably not a bad trade. Coming from the bottom of the range. It's only gone 5 ticks so far. Just hard to take these when it's so stacked up sideways going into the midline of the range. There's a potential PB.
Order submitted.
If it closes up here on my other strategy. Still expecting a new high. Not really room to the new high to get 8 ticks. Closed as a PB. It feels a little sketch. Maybe I could go for 4 ticks. Just triggered. Entering it too late, maybe.
Order
I just don't
canceled.
like now I'm going into this line. I'm just going to play it safe right now. Ranges are tough. I have this line here that I'm seeing. I'm still expecting a new high of this, but I don't know. Just something about it feels off. I mean, given the second leg up, it should work. Yeah, there it goes. I told myself I was going to be more aggressive, and I'm not being aggressive. But also, these tight ranges, man, sketch me out. Taking trades in this. So clearly the PB would have worked, and failed second entry short worked. The second entry long worked. The higher low worked. The PB worked. 4 trades. I just skipped 4 trades in a row. All right, I'm going to pause here. All right, so really, I mean, the only ones I really would have taken potentially is the higher low in the PB. I really should have taken this. Just looked a little bit weird on my other indicator. And kind of was sketchy going into the midline of the range since I'm drawing this stuff now. The higher low is probably the best trade, but 3 bars stacked seems sketchy. Wait for a better setup. You know, we'd like to get something off the highs or the lows, which is hard to do with my strategy, but let's see what happens next. I'm just looking at my range, and when I adjust for the first swing of the overnight here, it's perfect rejection there. So I'm going to leave this here for now. And maybe that makes sense why it didn't reach the measured move that I was expecting it to reach. I can tell that if this stays inside this range like this all day and is slow, it's just going to be tough to get a trade because all the setups are going to look like these, or you're going to have reasons to stay out of them. Although if I had my range this way, the PB would have looked nicer to me because it wouldn't have been going into the midline, although at the same time it'd be going into the opening price. So it's like on these tight range days, there's always something to keep you out, you know. So between the opening price and the tops of those, it's really hard to take that PB because there's not room for the A-tick scalp if you're worried about that resistance right there. There's kind of like two resistances, so potentially. There is something interesting that if this candle closes down here and then another candle closes up here, I might have a OJ to go long to retest the high of this for this channel, which looks confirmed to me. There's a little bit of a non-convincing break, but I don't think that's legit. I think this is a channel, and I think it's going to get a retest. Let's see what happens. So now I'm just noticing we have a first entry long, ticked under, second entry long here. Trend break, expect a new high. And I think if this closes up here, it might be an OJ. So
Order submitted.
Order ready. Because if it is, I've got room to the highs to get my scalp. So I never know on these if they qualify until the bar closes. Doesn't look like this one's going to do it. No OJ there. But basically, any close above this bar is in the right place for an OJ. So it's just about what I see on my indicator if it does close up here. In my testing over the weekend, I was noticing that if, something like this, a higher low followed by a PB, those tend to seem to work. If you have like a second entry long and a PB, or second entry long and an OJ. Those seem to be good. So this is a first entry long, second entry long. Now this could be a higher low potentially. And a OJ at the same time. So that would give me an extra reason to enter if that happens. Looks like it's going to be too low. Yeah. So still no OJ. Higher low, but not a good signal bar. And I'm also trying to do smaller stops on my Nlts strategy, which is going away from kind of what the indicator rules are, but I'm seeing that, usually if they don't work right away, they mostly fail. No reason to take a huge loss on a big stop. I could kind of play it tighter, like by the candle, or like a secondary area. So I'm just trying to make some adjustments as I go here. We're right around 80%. So I think I can make it the strategy work better, even if the percentage comes down a little bit by taking some losses with smaller stops. Because I'm taking smaller losses, my profit should be higher in theory. And it's definitely having resistance in this area. Still waiting for a close up here for an OJ. Market is just really slow. Need to close around 83 or so for an OJ, potential OJ. Let's see what happens on the close of this. If it gives me the signal, I'll take it. No. Not high enough. Now I gotta be careful because if it does give me an OJ up here, I gotta make sure I have enough room. Really, I'm expecting a test of this high, but just want to make sure there's room to kind of this area. Okay, my order ready in case there's a close up here. And I enter my Nlts strategy on my other chart so that I can look in one place for that setup. And then the Pat's entries, I'll enter on this chart if I enter anything. All right, let's see. Still no. Look at that. Right on the open. I don't even think this is going to qualify for an OJ anymore if it closes above again. Just definitely not sure what's going on here for any kind of Pats, anything. It definitely seems like it's making its way to the retest, just with no setup. Kind of look at this as a first entry short, second entry short failure. Very messy looking. Still waiting to see if this OJ is going to set up and be legit or not. Still not an OJ. Basically right now, if there's a close kind of here, I'm just waiting to see one thing on my indicator to see if it qualifies. Now it looks like it'll be like a 3-point stop if it does get triggered. It's so messy here though. It's like I'm starting to question if I even want to take it if it is, but we are expecting a retest of the highs based on my channel. Wow, still not. It feels like I should just stop even looking for it. Maybe 30 minutes just waiting for this one thing. It's getting really high.
Order canceled.
Okay, no trade, pausing. All right, so it is going for the retest of the high, but there was just no setup for me. Nothing I'd be comfortable taking. There was a second entry long right at the midline, 4 bars stacked side by side. Even though I know I'm expecting the retest of the high, I just want a clean setup. Yeah, these were the 2 trades I probably should have taken. I'm going to watch this because I know that the range high could possibly be up here. I moved it down based off the first swing of the overnight, and that it created resistance here. But the expectation is that this will go higher to meet the measured move, to beat the high here. So I would expect another retest, even of the opening range high. But I mean, that's the whole overnight and open of the market. We're over an hour and a half in to the market being open, and that's all we've got. I mean, it's really like, I don't know if people are on vacation or something today, but it's really not impressive. Nobody knows what to expect from the market, I guess. I don't know. But all right, I'm going to sit back and relax and wait for a new setup. All right, so I'm going to have to take a break here. I'm going to be taking my daughter to school. So we never did get to the measured move. We never actually did get to the high of this. We tried. And here it looks like first entry long, second entry long failure. But just super flat EMA. Just very choppy and very rangy. So wouldn't trust that Pat's trade here at all. Also because all the action was above and then the failure below. But I don't like any trade that looks like this and chop. So I'm going to break here. It's 8:33 and I should be back by about 9:30, something like that. All right, just almost 9:25, just got back. And just gonna see if there's something like that. First entry long, second entry long, towards the bottom of the range, far from the EMA. Not a trade I would take. Is there anything to the downside here? No, not there. Can I draw anything here? Doesn't really seem like anything is there. Anything here? It doesn't seem too legit either. So I don't see anything. I don't see anything on my NLTS strategy. So looks like the only trades all day today that I could have had were these. And yeah, that's the hard thing about range days. First of all, my NLTS strategy is not good. It's not built for range days. More for trending days, or at least trends in both directions. And then Pat's, you see Pat's trades, first entry, second entry here, below the EMA, going sideways, doesn't seem that great. You had a questionable channel here, whether it was a break, a new high already or not. And you had the first entry, second entry short failure above the EMA, which if you took that, if you didn't take it engulfing, you came within one tick of getting stopped out. So that would have got your pulse going. You had then you had the second entry long, which is a higher low to the failed second entry short. Then you had the higher low to the second entry long, but you had 3 bars stacking up side by side, very sideways, some resistance right here potentially. And then I had the PB, which is probably the best setup. I think these two were the best setups. I don't think the second entry long was that great. I don't think the failure was that great. These, maybe I should have taken. It's like, they look sketchy in these tight range days, but they're having seen what's happened since, they're the best two trades you could have taken. Here's a failure. I don't really trust that. Maybe maybe it's more like this, but I'd say that we're too far away from the EMA for a failure for max Pats. Too far for my liking anyway. Maybe it works, but not clear. Never got a retest of this high. So, yeah, I think, tight range between 86 and 75, 76, 10-point range all day. So I'm going to stay patient. This is the kind of day, if I don't get a trade on a day like today, that's fine. I'm willing to accept that. I'm not going to let these, it's easy to get frustrated. There's literally 4 trades here. So it's easy to get frustrated not taking that. But in hindsight, it's like, yeah, you should have taken it. In real time, it was like, geez, what is this even actually really doing? So I'm going to sit back and see if we get any trades. Got 3 hours. Let's see what happens. All right, so I'm watching this. I had this channel here, had a break, new low. I drew this because it's going through the top of this candle and kind of confirmed here. So just to keep in mind as a possible need to retest that. But we do have the higher low inside the original range now. I know a lot of people that like to take these higher lows in this kind of situation, but because I see a potential channel down, you might still need a retest of the bottom here. So I don't consider that a trade for me when I'm trading Pats. If you only see this channel down and you have a break in 2 legs to a new low, then the higher low seems like an obvious trade. Also with the doji before kind of sketches me out. It may work, but it's just not a trade that I'm comfortable taking, especially with Pats setups. And I don't have anything set up on my Nlts right now. So I'm just going to hang and watch. I wouldn't be surprised if this would work, back in the range, head back to the top, failed breakout at the bottom of the range. So we'll see what happens, but I'm just hanging out. All right, so I had drawn potentially if this higher low was going to work, I was thinking maybe there would be a second entry short failure to go up. But as you can see here, this just broke down, and anyone that was in this higher low just got stopped out. Only went 2 ticks above the entry. And looks like we're headed for the retest of the low here. So that's, it's interesting because Mac often just shows like one channel and you see a break in new low and then you think, okay, it's played out and you're ready to go long. Back inside the range, you got a higher low and it's a first entry long, second entry long, higher low. So you think, oh, good to take it. And then you get stopped out. And that's the kind of trades I used to get stopped out on. Trading Pats, and that's where the subjectivity comes in. So to me, even though I had this channel, this one, let's see, make it yellow. So even though I had this yellow channel break 2 legs to a new low, I still saw a bigger channel, and to me, I can't ignore those when I see them now. So bigger channel, it's kind of like right on that wick is the bottom here, so there's no overshoot, and now we get the retest of the low here. So at this point now anything can happen, but I'm glad that I've learned over time to look for these bigger channels and don't get fooled by a situation like this. So still no trades for me on either strategy setting up here, but I just wanted to talk about that because this is easily overlooked, and sometimes I don't draw these. Sometimes I see them and I don't draw them, and I choose to ignore them, and I take a trade like this and lose, and I go, oh yeah, I shouldn't have ignored that. But you want to see what you want to see when you want to take a trade sometimes. Anyway, we got a retest of the low now, so now it could bounce back up. We'll see what happens. I'll be looking for any other possibilities. I wonder if I'm not seeing something from up here. That's interesting. Yeah. Maybe you have something larger like that. Anyway, I'll pause here and see if something comes up. All right, so now that I'm looking at it this way, it actually makes me wonder if there's a bigger measured move, kind of like one leg down, two legs down. So almost perfect measured move. That's a possibility. Anything else I'm seeing here? The other thing you can do, Mac does measured moves like that of the ranges. So that's another potential target if we continue to fail out of the range. And so a few things to keep in mind. And this is when the chart starts looking really complicated and busy, which I hate, but it is what it is. We have a break and new low of this hot pink channel. We have a larger potential down channel. Maybe I'll change this color. So that we can see it clearly. And then we have the range. So what's playing out? The range, the wide, kind of really shallow, meandering down channel. Or is it just the tighter stuff? Who knows? So that's what I'm seeing right now. Let's see what happens. Here's one of those interesting situations because I have an LO off of this. This is the BT. Here's the LO. We're right at the bottom of my brown channel. And so I'm not willing to consider taking this trade, but had a bearish bar, 2 ticks below it. Before I was drawing max channels and trading Nlts, that's a trade I'd enter. But now, seeing what I'm saying, break of this pink channel, new low at the bottom of a potential brown channel. It looks pretty legit, but it's a range day, so I don't trust it so much. But just seems like a bad place to enter for short. And it's off just a first entry long. So not a trade I would want to take here. I did draw this potential down channel here that's not confirmed yet to see. But so here's an LO that, it may work, it may not work, who knows, but I'm not going to take it in this spot. All right, so there we go. The LO would have worked here. So, it's kind of like a situation where you've got the measured move down, one leg down, two legs down. The LO is going right into that, right below it is the entry. Would have worked for 8 or 6 ticks. But I think it's better to be safe and not take a trade like that where you're seeing kind of really multiple reasons to not enter a trade there. And, even though it worked, I think I have to just be okay with not taking a trade like that. And, this may be an overshoot. The other thing I want to see is how the midline looks if I did move it. And it looks like, not bad. There's some definite reactions off that midline if it's here. So let's see if price action stops moving down from here or not. It's either an overshoot well, we're just not sure yet. Is it going to be an overshoot? Is this going to be the bottom here? We just have to wait and see. But this is the only other setup I've now seen. other than these two. And then there was also, I talked about it earlier, trade here and trade here, but I wouldn't have wanted to take either one of those puts. So look, it's still going down here. So that LO is money, you know, and that's the thing is like I was taking those without even thinking about it originally, and they would make big moves like this at the bottom, and then I started getting caught. So I started creating other rules to not take it. And yeah, what can you do? I think you can just try to put yourself in the best position possible. It does look like it's going for the measured move of the range. You know, seems pretty much like a fair thing to say. But we did have a breakout up here, so it's possible you have a breakout down here and then come back. Maybe it's a little steeper. All right, so there's not going to be any trades all the way down here for me the way I trade, so I'm just going to be waiting. Just going to see what happens if I start a channel here instead. That looks better. That looks better. Still have an overshoot, potentially. Here's the measured move right there of the range. So this might be the bottom with the overshoot right there. Bounce back up. And with the brown one, I mean, I move that all the way down here. That still kind of works. Look at that. Midline. Maybe. The brown one I'm giving less weight to. It's kind of a really odd channel. This down one. Looks like we have an overshoot. If I keep the original one, sometimes I like to do this just to like see if there's a reaction. So that's kind of everything I'm looking at now. It's confusing. Price action has been slow and bad today so far. 1020. And just going to stay patient. See what happens. All right, so this channel didn't prove out to be anything. So to me, it looks like we have an overshoot here. So I'm not expecting a new low. And, you know, we could either be doing something like this. Here's a first entry short. So this could be a second entry short. I'm not expecting a new low. So let's see if shorts get trapped here. Even though I'm not expecting it, it could still happen. You know, maybe people see this as not an overshoot and still go for the low there. But I'm looking at it this way. I'm not expecting it to go down. I'm expecting this to be the bottom of my brown channel. And so I'm expecting to go the other way. Although to me, it's still too early to go long too. So here comes the short trap. Potentially. In which case, this is the break of the pink channel. First leg down, second leg down. Could have measured that too. So you went further than that. So kind of everything to me says you've gone to the bottom already. I wouldn't be surprised if this takes out the stops here. The thing is, the close is below the EMA, and I wouldn't want to take a long up here. Even though it makes sense to me, it doesn't look like a good failure to take right now. But context-wise, it makes sense to me that these shorts will get trapped here. I don't know, maybe if we get a close above, maybe you can take a long above that. Also, the first entry short is off an inside bar. So that makes it kind of sketch to me too, in a way. And if the close is below the EMA, I'm definitely not considering taking a trade like that. But if it does go above that, that is a failure. And you would kind of expect to see all the stops get taken out and then it blast off. It definitely seems like that's what it wants to do. Here's the push. So here's the failure. I just have a hard time pulling the trigger on a trade like this. Another close below the EMA. Now, if I was in this trade, I wouldn't like that close. You want to see it close strong after that. 4 bars sideways. Stop is here. And this is why Pats is hard, because if you're seeing things just slightly not right, maybe this is an overshoot, and maybe the second entry short will work. I don't mean to make this recording super long, but I'm just waiting to see what happens here out of curiosity. Okay, so here's the low of this bar is 68, and now we're at 68. Looks like it's gonna get taken out if you took the failure to go long. It looks like you're about to get stopped out. There it is. So yeah, and now you have a question. So is this a legit channel here? You know, Mac wouldn't draw something like that. Mac wouldn't draw this either. Is there something bigger from here? Yeah, you can start to look for something like that. Maybe you'll get a retest of the high up here, and then it'll continue working back down. So just a whole lot of unsureness for me. I mean, this little thing is confirmed. I mean, you have 1, 2, 3 touches moved above. So this little thing is confirmed, even though Mac would not ever draw that. So I would expect to retest the high here, and then who knows if it's going down or up. And we'll see if this bigger blue channel plays a part. So I'm going to pause here and wait for something. All right, so as I suspected, we do get a new high off of this little thing here. Now I'm waiting to see if this is actually a down channel or not. And then, you kind of have to go, okay, well, if this isn't a down channel, then maybe this is a bigger up channel. And then you go, okay, well, if it is a bigger up channel, then there's going to be a second leg that takes you to there. Not that you're going to get a setup for that, but that's what you're looking for. Now, if it doesn't reach this and it comes back down here, then maybe what's going on is that this blue channel is legit. So kind of a lot of different scenarios going on right now. I don't have any setups potentially for my Nlts at the moment. Path setups, not really anything obvious coming up soon here. If you say this isn't a first entry because of the inside bar, maybe it's first entry short, second entry short, failure here. Any which way you look at it, there's no setups you can take. So pausing here. It's 10, almost 10:40. So less than 2 hours left. All right, so this blue channel is definitely not a channel. So now it's really starting to clear up. I'd say the brown channel is legit. I'd say that it was not an overshoot currently. I mean, it's possible it was an overshoot to say it like that, which then maybe you expect it to go up at the top. But right now I'm going to treat it like it's not an overshoot and wait to see what the reaction is if it gets back up here. We've already got 2 legs off the bottom now. So maybe something, there could be some reaction off the midline. But just, for NLTS strat and for PAT strat, just nothing clear. So I'm waiting. All right, now I'm just waiting to see if this blue channel is getting confirmed here. We had a reaction off what looks like the midline of the brown channel, which makes me think it's legit that the bottom of the brown channel is down here. Now, if this doesn't come up here and it comes down instead, this channel won't be confirmed for me, in which case it's possible that I might have an OJ down here somewhere in this scenario if we're not expecting a new high off this channel. So for me right now, it's pretty key to see if we get a confirmation of this blue channel right up here, or if we don't, which looks like we're starting to look like if we're not going to, then I'll take this blue channel off and we're saying we have a channel up, a break, a new high, reaction at the midline. Maybe we're coming back down, which makes me think that an OJ down here might turn out to be good. So this is kind of a key spot to see if I'm potentially safe to take an OJ. The other thing you could do if you're just drawing all the channels you see, you could say that's a channel. All right, so this didn't confirm. Now, can this get wider? That's always the question too. Maybe it can be like that, right? Oops. So This is kind of, to me, the last chance for this channel to be legit. Otherwise, if it comes down,
Order
I may want to
submitted.
get my order ready for a OJ down here. So if it continues down, I'm looking for a short for an OJ. If it comes up here and bounces up, then I'll say that this is confirmed and I won't be looking for a short. So then close low enough for an OJ there. But that doesn't look legit to me. So potentially see if something like this maybe. So I am looking for an OJ down here. And this we already have. If you're looking at this, you have a break new high right here on this bar. So a close down here, I would try an OJ, I think. If it fits the rules, of course. So right now it still needs to close lower. Around 68.50-ish. Doesn't look like it'll happen on this bar. So I could really take this off because that was an overshoot. I could take this off because it was a break new high with this bar, just to make it easier to follow. So has a reaction off the midline. I think it's safe to look for a short again if this OJ sets up. I'm going to make my stops tighter. So if I could get in around 68.50, my stop will be around 71.50, not too big. Taking forever. Market's so slow. All right, looks like we're not going to be going down. All right, so still waiting here. It's still possible for a close below to be an OJ. down here. Right, so it looks like it's making a move for it. Getting my order ready just in case. We had 2 perfect legs up, measured to the tick just about. Had a downtrending market for the most part. Oh, now it's going the other way. Close down here would be good because it'd be within this short-term trend channel. Let's see. See if this qualifies. Nope. Closed too high. I just keep adjusting. Still a close down here would give me the OJ. I don't think I'm seeing anything else. Really thought this was going to close down here and trigger it on this bar, but now the thing is, when this bar closes, we'll have to see if it qualifies, if it's down here. Let's see. No, it's not an OJ.
Order canceled.
There's just no trade here. Okay, I waited all that time. If this one had closed below, it would have been, but now it's not. So, no setups here. I'll pause and see if something comes up. All right, so this doesn't look like a legit channel. Taking that off. And this looks like maybe a range is forming here, possibly. I don't know, hard to say, but that's what I'm looking for right now. I mean, really expect it to come back up here. But let's see what happens. All right, so today just, officially sucks. It's 11:12, and I'm just not clear at all what's going on. Had clear measured move up here, no setup there. Had move down, no setup. Clearly 2 legs down, went beyond that, and have this channel down, which expecting a retest of the low for that. Maybe there's a little channel here that's wider. I also drew in a possible range here. So just nothing clear at all, but typical Monday. It feels like I feel like Mondays are the days I get the least amount of trades typically. So see what happens now. And just looking at this, Already had this channel down, a break, and a new low. There's not really a reason to go short again, but there is a potential second entry short forming here. This is the kind of stuff that kills me. I'd say this is congestion. 2 bars in a row with no body. It's tempting to want to go short if you get a nice bearish bar here. I might just get ready just in case. I mean, it would be confirming this down channel. It's just that it looks a little sketch just because you didn't confirm it here. So really, it would be confirming it on this bar. I don't know. I don't really love it for Pat's channel or Pat's trade to go short. So what I'd prefer is it just not even give a bearish bar here, so that there's no decision to be made. And I'm just going to judge it based on what I see. I mean, also the EMA is super flat, right? So prefer to not even get teased by a bearish bar here to go short. Okay. So not a bearish bar. I mean, there's still an argument you can make for it to be like that. That would still fit. Now you're looking at it would have to be engulfing. I wouldn't want to take an engulfing entry short here. I also have to consider you can have a channel like this. All right, so this is definitely going to be, I don't like to erase them until it's clear that it's going to close outside and not confirm it. I don't consider this confirmed when there's no body. The fact that it went down here. But just not a lot of opportunities. Had a couple early on. Look at this now. Very sideways, very flat EMA. No. So I definitely wouldn't consider a short.
Order canceled.
Even if it goes down here. My expectations would be that we're coming back up here. So everything to the short side's played out other than this potential downtrend. Very sideways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th bar cross. So anyway, this is how I do it when I'm drawing channels for Pat's strategy. I just draw the major stuff that I see. And if there's a confirmation, I leave it so that I can see if there's a break a new high or break a new low. And trying to trade Nlts with this context in mind. And it's funny, I did playback. I did like 3 or 4 days of playback on the weekend, and every day I'm able to get like 4 or 5 trades, like pretty average. And then you come start the trading day on Monday and there's 0. You know, I could have had 3 today, but if there were reasons to skip all of them, maybe I'm just not skipping them. On playback, I'm more free to take them as I see them. Right, so the down channel is definitely not happening. Maybe there'll be a channel like this. Let's see, first entry short, second entry short, failure.
Order submitted.
Can take that possibly. It's very sideways. First entry short, second entry short, failure. Less than 2-point risk. 5 ticks. Tried it too late.
Order canceled.
All right, I think I tried it too late. It already went for 4 ticks, so I'm not super comfortable letting it come back and get me. It's an inside bar. Looks like it would have worked for 8 ticks. The other thing that's interesting is there's a potential PB up here. I have resistance here. Get my order ready on the other
Order
chart.
submitted.
PB after a failed second entry short. Looking to possibly enter this. Very borderline. Four and a quarter point risk. All right, so the thing keeping me out of this trade is just it looks like resistance right there. Of course, it blasted through. So 72 needs to get to 74 for the 8-tick scalp, but I can't take it going into potential resistance there, right into the midline. Just reasons to not trust it.
Order canceled.
All right, so it looks like it's going to work. It needs to get to 74. So it needs 2 more ticks. But this resistance, this midline, just reasons to stay out. Still hasn't gone there. Looks like it'll do it though. I mean, it doesn't look like this resistance held. And that's the thing that's hard for my strategy. When there's just, mostly sideways action for the day, is you don't get a chance really to like not run into areas like this. It's like you keep running into kind of points where you're making a judgment call. Is it going to go through it or not? I think the good trade here was the failed second entry short. I didn't quite recognize it right away. And then when I did, I was kind of waiting to see it start turning down. So I was waiting to see if it looked like it was going to finish like a bull candle. And once it kind of looked like it was going to be a bull candle, then I dropped my order in and missed it by just a couple seconds. So I didn't love the trade, but I didn't hate it. Just waiting to see if this is going to work for the 8 ticks. I skipped the PB2 because it wasn't a gold PB. Not only for the reasons I mentioned about the potential resistance here and the resistance of the midline of the brown channel, but also one of the rules wasn't totally in place. One of the conditions to take a PB that make it gold. So it was really a white version of the PB, and I try not to take those. They seem to be more hit or miss than what you're seeing here. What you're seeing here in the corner, 13 and 2. And one of those, I think, was actually a white one that I took that was a loss. So, when they're gold, they're really good. All right, I'll pause here and see what happens. All right, and it did finally hit that 8th tick. So if I was in the trade, I would have gotten 6 since it pulled back on the PB. I'm going to erase this now. But I will leave a line here in case I talk about it in the review. Why I don't want to enter this one. This was the trade though. That made a lot of sense. Just, I wish it wasn't so sideways. It looked congested. I wasn't paying attention. I just noticed that there was an LO.
Order submitted.
Just set up over this bar. I'm a little hesitant to take it now because I didn't see it when it was triggering. And it's already gone up 5 ticks. I think I missed it. I wouldn't been able to get in it anyway so far since I noticed it. All right. Looks like it's going to work. 76, 75. So I needed to get to 78, 75. Hasn't worked yet. Just don't have like a measured move or anything to measure for. The only thing I have is that you expect it to go to the top here. It would have just come and took me in if I dropped my order. It feels so sketchy entering late on these now. It's like you don't want to enter when you have a bearish bar. Bit of a mind game since I saw it late. I could try to enter in lower and see if the channel holds. I can get a bounce. I feel like I missed the trade. I don't feel confident to take it this late. This was the LO. So this is the bar you're supposed to enter on. It's made 2 pushes up already. Definitely had an opportunity to get in it now. I hadn't gone 8 ticks yet. I just used to be so much more confident in them. But I mean, it's in an uptrend. You have room to where you expect to get to. It seems like it should work. There it goes. Now it's definitely too late to enter. It's already tried 3 times at this point. So if it doesn't work on this 3rd try, then I'd say it probably doesn't work, but I think it's going to work. Still only gone 6 ticks. It's like it's giving me every chance in the world to enter it, but it's too late.
Order
now.
canceled.
I'm not going to enter it at this point. Here's another opportunity for me to have gotten in. I wonder if I could take like higher lows or something off my setups. I mean, to me, it's like it tried once, tried twice, tried 3 times. So this is like definitely the danger zone for this setup. I don't like when I see it try 3 times and not get there. Still in the range though, or still in the channel. Definitely like a 3rd opportunity to get in. All right, so what I might consider more is to get back down to the EMA or something and then look for a potential second entry long or higher low or something like that to retest the highs of this blue channel. That's a legit channel that you can count on. All right, so that LO finally would have worked. You could have said first entry, second entry, but I don't know. These were equal highs, so you could have reset it, and it's just a first entry. So I just stayed away. But I guess if you looked at first entry, second entry, you could have taken it on engulfing or just at the high of this. It's 11:55, so I have about 30 minutes left today. These days are tough. I've been sitting here through all of this. Missed about an hour in here, but it's just so choppy today. Some setups, but not really the best setups. But I mean, look at this. There's really 4 trades here, but there's 2 that I really could have considered taking. There's 1 here I don't really feel like I could have considered. And then there were these 2 here, and then this one up here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 trades. So I don't know, maybe on playback when I'm testing, I'm just free to just take these kinds of trades. And that's why I get, 5 trades a day on playback. And then I come here and I get 1 or none, or sometimes 2. So I just got to get more aggressive, I think. I'm reading the market well. I feel like drawing everything is working for me. Like a case like this, have the channel down, the break, the new low, be able to look for a long here. I knew I didn't want to really look for shorts here, and so I was seeing a possible short, but I was thinking to myself, that's not really what you want to look for. You want to look for a long. And I noticed the failed second entry short a little too late. PB on the back of it. This is what I've been seeing in my testing over the weekend. If I get a PATS strategy set up and then my NLTS set up after it, they tend to work. And that was the same true over here. Had a first entry long, second entry long with a higher low, and then a PB after the higher low. So either one of those trades would have been really good. So I think I just, it comes with confidence. I think I might have won a free evaluation today on Benzinga. They have a show called the Trader Bacon Show, something like that. And they only have like 125 viewers or something like that, 150 maybe tops. And so it's not very hard to win a free giveaway on there. So if you haven't checked that out, check it out. It's talking to Apex funded traders, and then they give some free evaluations away. So if it was me that won, and I get the email to sign up, I might just do like 150K or 300K. And that way, I think the thing that is hurting me a little bit with my NLTS strategy is it's really designed for swings. I mean, it's really designed to catch these moves, and I'm not doing that. I'm just going for scalps. But because I'm taking some losses and the stops are bigger on them, that's where you get hurt. Is I think my percentage is higher than it really needs to be for the strategy, because if I'm able to trade some runners, I could take on some more losses, but then you get some of these bigger moves, or this one, you get one of these bigger moves and it offsets the bigger losses, and that makes you, really much more likely to be profitable. So we'll see if I get that free eval. If I do, I may put the PAs on ice. I don't know. I have to think about it, but I really do want to test out the strategy, being able to use a runner and go for a bigger swing, and see if that helps, erase the couple losses that I have, and 10 losses. So you imagine you get some runners on some small percentage, and those 10 losses now are only like, maybe they're 4 or 5 losses, what they equal to in money. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's see what happens here. A little bit of time left to see if I get anything. And so I'm just seeing this. I mean, this is a first entry, second entry short with room to the EMA.
Order submitted.
I'm not sure I want to take this because this is the kind of trade I get losses on the bigger channel. 78.50. And so I would need to trade down to here below the EMA to get my ATIC scalp. So I'm not going to take that trade late in the day. 10 minutes left trading. It's possible that works. Look at that. But I don't trust these really big channels to just take an entry like that off of it. What if this is an overshoot and it's going to just blast through it now? So I would consider if there was some kind of failure below the EMA, I would consider that. Because who knows, for all I know, there could be some kind of new thing like this, right? And then take out the second entry short.
Order canceled.
So let's see, how far did it go? It went, the entry would be 78.50, and right now the low of here. So right now it's gone 4 ticks so far. So I'll come back and see what happens. What I wouldn't mind seeing now that we have this trend up, break 2 legs to a new high, had the second entry short right off the key entry point of the Y channel. If this starts working down and creates a first entry, second entry long that fails below the EMA, I would take that to the short side. So that's what I'll be watching for in the next 10 minutes or so. All right, so just looking here to see if we get a last chance for a trade on a PAT strategy. I'm thinking this channel will not be real, that we already had to break 2 legs to a new high. We had the second entry short off the big channel, the brown one. And so I'm not going to see any setups anytime soon, I don't think, for my Nlts strategy. But if we close down here and then push up and come back down, that might be a failed second entry long. So I'm going to get my order ready up here just in case. Get ready to take this off. Yeah. And so this is kind of what I was thinking. And it looks like this would have finally worked the second entry short. You have a lower high, a first entry long. Here comes the second entry long. And I would take a failure if it happens. So I would prefer this not engulf. This engulfing is difficult sometimes. I'd like it to close right around here and then trigger below. And that's a PATS trade I would be willing to take. Still wanted to close up there though.
Order filled.
So let's see. Seems like it fits the rules. So is this going to be one of those pat straights that I lose? Yep, it looks like it. Wow. I mean, first entry long, second entry long in a channel. You already had to break a new high. Like, why would I lose this, right? If I lose, I lose. This is why I get frustrated with pats, but nothing's perfect. Felt like a good read, but it's just going to take me out. Maybe I wasn't seeing some kind of range. I don't know. Actually looks like it's going to be an OJ on my other chart. Put me on my misery already. Give me a loss right at the end of the day. It sucks.
Order filled.
It's funny. Maybe I have an
Order
OJ here.
submitted.
No.
Order canceled.
All right. Well, this is why I wasn't trading pats for so long, because what am I missing? Look at that. One tick gets me out by one tick, and then it's gonna work now. Oh my God. This is the kind of stuff that makes me crazy about pat strategy. Have a clear channel up. have a break and new high, have a clear channel down, have a failure, on the key entry point under the EMA, get a loss. All right, so down to 76%. Let me fix this. All right, so that's what it's looking like for me right now. Really frustrated. I was ready to finish for the day. Gave me exactly what I was looking for. I guess the only thing I could say is, did I miss just trading into that maybe? It seemed like the context was perfect. And ironic that I didn't want to take the second entry short here because of off the big channel and have to trade through the EMA. But wait for the setup below the EMA, perfect second entry long failure, and gives me a loss. This is an exact example of why I wanted to stop trading PATs and why I was switching to the NLTS. So again, my PA accounts are in danger. Well, this one is specifically in danger. The 5 is okay. Plenty of room there. But this number 3 basically got $210 of room on that. So that just sucks. I felt confident in it. Not everything's going to work. What can you do? It's the way it goes. All right. So with that, 2 hours recording a live video, and was so patient today. Skipped so many trades that all would have worked. Literally, I mean, how many, if anyone's watched this, how many trades did I see the setup and say, oh, I could take it, but I'm not taking it for this reason or that reason. And then I wait all day and have a what looks to me like a great second entry, long failure key entry point at the EMA. The only other thing I could say is the EMA was flat, right? But context wise, had a break of the channel, 2 legs to a new high. And you just expect that here's your reversal, end of the day, here comes a sell off, finish the day, doesn't happen. And I'm frustrated, but that's trading. This is real trading. And moving on. So I'm going to wrap it up here, or well, I'm going to end this video here, and I'm going to switch gears and set up my recording for my review of another red day, unfortunately. All right, thanks for watching.